Captain Sarah Chen stared at the holographic display floating before her on the bridge of the UES Horizon, humanity's first quantum drive warship. The experimental vessel had been her command for exactly 6 days, and now she was about to take it into combat completely untested. Multiple contacts, bearing 037, Lieutenant Rodriguez called from the tactical station. Configuration unknown. No match in any database. The Horizon wasn't supposed to see action for months. The prototype vessel was scheduled for extensive trials of its experimental systems, the quantum drive, the adaptive shield matrix, the phase-shifted weapons array. Instead, they were about to engage an unknown alien force that had appeared without warning at the Perseus research station. "Show me," Chen ordered, and the main view screen filled with the approaching vessels. They seemed to ripple and shift, their hulls made of what looked like liquid metal that flowed and reformed as they moved. Beautiful, but deadly. The wreckage of the station's defensive satellites proved that. Station reports their outer research labs are compromised, Communications Officer Park announced, his fingers dancing across his haptic interface. Dr. Walsh says they're after the quantum resonance prototype, says we cannot let them have it. Chen's jaw tightened. The quantum resonance research at Perseus was classified even from her, but she knew it represented one of humanity's greatest technological breakthroughs. If these aliens were after it, that confirmed they weren't here by accident. "Engineering, status of our systems?" she asked. Chief Engineer Maya Patel's voice came back tense but controlled. "Quantum drive is stable but untested at combat power levels. Adaptive shields are online, but the algorithms are still learning. Phase weapons are charged, but we've never fired them outside simulation." In other words, Chen said with a grim smile, "Everything works in theory, but might explode when we use it." Perfect. The alien ships were spreading out now, moving to surround the station. Their tactics were sophisticated, clearly not their first combat operation, but they hadn't seemed to notice the Horizon yet, hiding in the shadow of Perseus's largest moon thanks to their experimental stealth systems. "They're launching boarding pods," Rodriguez reported. "Station's point defense is engaging, but their shields are too strong." Chen studied the tactical display, mind racing. The Horizon was humanity's most advanced warship, but it was still just a prototype. Going up against multiple alien vessels with untested systems was suicide by any conventional tactical analysis. But conventional thinking hadn't gotten humanity to the stars. It hadn't built the quantum drive or the adaptive shields, and it wouldn't save Perseus Station. "All hands, battle stations," Chen announced, her voice calm and steady. "Engineering. Divert all available power to weapons and shields. Tactical, plot firing solutions on those boarding pods first. Navigation, plot an attack vector that keeps us between the aliens and the station's main research lab." As klaxons sounded and the crew rushed to their positions, Chen felt a fierce pride. They might be outgunned and untested, but they were also humanity's best. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers chosen specifically for their ability to think creatively and adapt to the unknown. "Multiple weapon locks," Rodriguez called out. "They've spotted us." "Show them what humanity's first quantum warship can do," Chen ordered. "All weapons, fire as we bear." The Horizon's experimental weapons sprang to life, phase-shifted energy beams lashing out at relativistic speeds. The alien vessel's liquid metal hulls rippled as they absorbed the first hits, but the shots that followed began to pass through their defenses as the adaptive targeting systems learned and adjusted. "Direct hits on 2 vessels," Rodriguez reported with satisfaction. "Their shield harmonics are destabilizing." But the aliens were adapting too. Their return fire came in waves of shifting energy that probed the Horizon's defenses, testing, learning. Each volley was more effective than the last as they analyzed the prototype ship's capabilities. "Shields at 82% and falling," Engineering reported. "The adaptive algorithms are having trouble keeping up with their rate of change." Chen watched as one of the alien boarding pods slipped through the station's defenses, attaching itself to the hull near the main research lab. Time was running out. New plan, she announced. Navigation. Plot a micro-jump. I want us inside their formation, right on top of that boarding pod. Engineering. Prepare to redline the quantum drive. Tactical. Charge all weapons but don't fire until my mark. The crew looked at her with a mix of surprise and determination. What she was proposing was incredibly dangerous, using an untested quantum drive for a precision jump in combat conditions. But they trusted her. Ready on your mark, Captain. Navigation reported. Chen took a deep breath. Execute jump in 3, 2, 1. The universe seemed to twist and fold as the quantum drive engaged. For a fraction of a second, reality itself bent around the horizon. Then they reappeared exactly where Chen had planned, directly between the alien ships and their boarding party. All weapons, fire, she ordered. The horizon's full arsenal blazed to life at point-blank range, catching the aliens completely by surprise. Phase-shifted beams and quantum torpedoes struck with devastating effect before they could adjust their defenses. But they were far from defeated. As the alien ships regrouped for a counterattack, Chen knew the real battle was just beginning. They had bought the station some time, but now they had to prove that humanity's experimental technology, and more importantly, humanity's courage and ingenuity, could stand against an advanced alien threat. The next few hours would determine not just the fate of Perseus Station, but potentially humanity's place among the stars. And Captain Sarah Chen intended to make sure that place was secured not through brute force, but through the qualities that had gotten humanity this far: determination, adaptability, and the ability to think beyond conventional limitations. Status report, she called out, already planning their next move. And someone get me a direct line to Dr. Walsh. I want to know exactly what we're defending and how we can use it to win this fight. Their hulls aren't just liquid metal, Dr. Amanda Walsh's hologram explained, flickering slightly as another explosion rocked Perseus Station. They're a form of programmable matter that can reconfigure itself at the molecular level. That's why they're so interested in our quantum resonance research. Captain Chen watched as the station's lead scientist manipulated a complex diagram in the air between them. Behind her, the bridge crew of the Horizon worked frantically to maintain their defensive position against the alien fleet. Shields at 64% and holding, Rodriguez reported from Tactical. But they're learning faster than our adaptive algorithms can keep up. Each attack is more effective than the last. Chen studied the tactical display. The alien ships had pulled back after their initial surprise at the Horizon's quantum jump, but now they were probing the prototype vessel's defenses with increasingly sophisticated attacks. Each volley seemed designed to test a different frequency, a different approach. They're not just fighting us, Chief Engineer Patel said, her voice tight with concentration, as she worked to keep the experimental systems stable. They're studying us, learning about our technology. Dr. Walsh nodded. That's exactly what they're doing. And that's why we can't let them near the quantum resonance prototype. Our research isn't just about new technology. It's about understanding the fundamental nature of matter itself. In their hands, another blast rocked the ship, cutting off her words. Direct hit on Section 7. Rodriguez called out. They found a way to partially bypass our shield harmonics. Engineering. Reroute power to compensate, Chen ordered. Doctor, you still haven't told me exactly what your prototype does. If we're defending it, we need to know what we're protecting. And more importantly, if we can use it. Walsh hesitated, then nodded. The quantum resonance device was designed to manipulate matter at its most fundamental level, to change the very way atoms interact with quantum fields. We thought it could revolutionize manufacturing, energy production, even space travel. But in theory, it could also be used to multiple boarding craft incoming. Rodriguez interrupted. They're using our shield fluctuations as cover. Chen's mind raced. The aliens' liquid metal ships were learning and adapting faster than the Horizon's defensive systems could compensate. Traditional tactics weren't working. They needed something unexpected, something the aliens couldn't adapt to because they'd never seen it before. "Dr. Walsh," she said suddenly, "your prototype, could it affect their programmable matter hulls?" Walsh's eyes widened. The resonance field was never designed as a weapon, but yes, theoretically, it could disrupt the quantum-level controls that allow their hulls to reconfigure. But the prototype is still highly experimental. Using it could be catastrophic. More catastrophic than letting them take it. Chen asked pointedly. "We need options, Doctor. The Horizon systems are incredible, but we're fighting a technological battle against an enemy that learns and adapts faster than we do. We need to change the rules of engagement." A new alarm blared. "Captain, they're launching another wave," Rodriguez reported. "Different attack pattern this time. They're synchronizing their shots, creating resonance patterns in our shield matrix. Shields at 47% and falling," Patil added. "The adaptive algorithms can't keep up with multiple coordinated attack vectors." Chen made her decision. "Dr. Walsh, I'm sending a team to help you move the prototype to the Horizon. Lieutenant Park, coordinate with station security for immediate evacuation of all essential research personnel. Tactical, calculate firing solutions to cover the transfer. Engineering, I want to know exactly how we can interface this quantum resonance device with our systems." "Captain," Walsh protested, "connecting an experimental quantum device to your ship's already experimental systems, the interactions could be unpredictable. Dangerous. More dangerous than those ships out there." Chen gestured at the tactical display, where the alien vessels were moving into an attack formation with practiced precision. "They're not just trying to destroy us, Doctor. They're learning about every piece of technology we have. If we keep fighting conventionally, they'll eventually figure out how to counter everything we throw at them. We need to show them something they've never seen before." As if to emphasize her point, another coordinated barrage struck the horizon. The ship's experimental shields flared bright enough to cast shadows on the bridge. "Shields at 35%, Patil reported grimly. "We can't take much more of this." Walsh straightened, her scientist caution warring visibly with necessity. "We'll need to modify both the prototype and your ship's power distribution network. The quantum fields have to be perfectly aligned or the feedback could tear both apart." "Do it," Chen ordered. "Engineering, give Dr. Walsh whatever she needs. Everyone else, buy us time. We're about to show these aliens that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to take crazy risks and make them work." As the crew rushed to implement her orders, Chen watched the alien ships continuing their methodical attack. They were incredible examples of advanced technology, learning and adapting with artificial precision. But that was also their weakness. They fought like machines, expecting their opponents to follow logical patterns they could analyze and counter. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest innovations often came from doing the completely illogical. The quantum resonance device might be unstable, untested, and dangerous to use, but sometimes the best human victories came from being crazy enough to try the impossible. "All hands," she announced shipwide. "Prepare for emergency maneuvers. This is either going to be a brilliant success or a spectacular failure. Either way, let's give them something to remember us by." The quantum resonance device was never meant to interface with the ship's power grid, Dr. Walsh explained, her hands moving swiftly over the jury-rigged control panel in the Horizon's engineering section. "We're essentially trying to merge two experimental technologies that could react unpredictably." Chief Engineer Patil stood beside her, monitoring the quantum drive's power fluctuations. "Unpredictably is putting it mildly. The energy signatures are already interfering with each other. One wrong move and we could trigger a cascade failure." The deck shuddered beneath them as another alien barrage struck the shields. Captain Chen's voice came through the comm. "Status report, engineering. Those ships are coordinating their attacks with increasing precision. Our shields won't hold much longer." Patil checked her readings. "The quantum drive is stable for now, but integrating the resonance device is proving tricky. The power requirements are massive, and the field harmonics keep shifting. It's not just about power, Walsh added, frustration evident in her voice. The resonance field has to be perfectly tuned. Too weak, and it won't affect their programmable matter hulls. Too strong, and it could affect our own ship's molecular structure. On the bridge, Chen watched as the alien vessels executed another perfectly synchronized attack pattern. Their liquid metal hulls flowed and shifted, adapting to each countermeasure the Horizon attempted. They were learning, evolving their tactics with each exchange. Lieutenant Rodriguez, she called to her tactical officer, analysis of their attack patterns. They're not just coordinating their shots, Captain, Rodriguez replied, studying his displays. They're creating interference patterns in our shield matrix. Each hit is precisely calculated to weaken specific frequencies. It's like they're solving us like a puzzle. That tracks with what we've learned about their technology, Park added from communications. Their programmable matter hulls suggest an extremely advanced understanding of quantum-level manipulation. They're probably using similar principles to analyze and counter our defenses. Another hit rocked the ship. Shields at 28%, Rodriguez reported. We can't sustain this much longer. Chen opened a channel to engineering. Dr. Walsh, we're running out of time. What's the status of the integration? We're close, Walsh responded, her voice tense with concentration. But Captain, you need to understand what we're attempting. The quantum resonance field wasn't designed as a weapon. It's meant to manipulate matter at the subatomic level, to temporarily alter the way particles interact with quantum fields. And that's exactly what we need, Chen insisted. Their ships are built on programmable matter technology. They're able to adapt because they can reconfigure their molecular structure at will. We need to disrupt that ability. But the field would affect everything within its range, Walsh warned, including the Horizon. We have to modulate it precisely to target their specific molecular frequencies while protecting our own systems. One miscalculation. The ship lurched violently. Direct hit to port shields. Rodriguez called out. Section 3 is reporting hull breaches. Emergency containment fields holding. But barely. Doctor, Chen said firmly, I understand the risks. But right now our choice is between a dangerous experiment and certain defeat. How long until the device is ready? Walsh and Paddle exchanged glances. The physical integration is complete, Paddle reported. But we need time to calibrate the field harmonics. If we get it wrong. Multiple targets incoming. Rodriguez interrupted. They're launching another wave of boarding craft. Different approach vector this time. They're trying to reach the station's research labs. Chen studied the tactical display. The alien ships had shifted formation, creating a complex pattern of overlapping fields of fire. Their coordination was incredible, each vessel moving with perfect precision to support the others. It was beautiful in a terrifying way, like watching a deadly dance choreographed by an artificial intelligence. They've figured out our shield modulation, Rodriguez added grimly. Next coordinated barrage will likely breach our remaining defenses. Chen made her decision. Engineering. Divert all remaining power to the quantum resonance device. Dr. Walsh, begin calibration. We'll have to adjust the harmonics on the fly. Captain, that's incredibly dangerous, Walsh protested. Without proper calibration, the resonance field could tear apart the molecular bonds of everything it touches, including us. Then we'll have to calibrate it correctly, Chen replied simply. Because right now, those ships out there are taking apart our defenses with surgical precision. They're learning and adapting faster than we can respond. We need to show them something they can't predict or counter. She opened a ship-wide channel. All hands, this is the captain. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're going to create a quantum resonance field that will affect matter at its most fundamental level. Engineering has done their best to protect our systems, but we're operating well outside normal parameters. Hold on to something solid and trust in human ingenuity. Chen watched as the alien fleet moved into their final attack position. Their liquid metal hulls rippled with accumulated energy, preparing to deliver what they calculated would be a killing blow. They had analyzed the Horizon's capabilities, probed its defenses, and formulated a perfect tactical solution. But they were about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't technology. It was the ability to do the unexpected, to take impossible risks, and make them work through sheer determination and creativity. Dr. Walsh, Chen ordered, initialize the quantum resonance field. Let's show these aliens what happens when they push humanity into a corner. Reality itself seemed to shiver as the quantum resonance field activated. A barely visible distortion rippled outward from the horizon, like heat waves on a summer day, but somehow wrong, as if the fundamental fabric of space was being twisted. Resonance field stabilizing. Dr. Walsh reported, her fingers dancing across the control panel. Field strength at 15% and rising. The quantum harmonics are fluctuating. I've never seen patterns like this. In engineering, Chief Patel watched with growing concern as power readings spiked across her boards. The quantum drive is reacting to the field, power output increasing beyond design parameters. We're seeing some kind of feedback loop between the systems. The alien fleet had paused their attack, their liquid metal hulls rippling with what almost looked like uncertainty. Their perfect formation held, but they had stopped their advance, seemingly analyzing this new phenomenon. They're scanning us, Lieutenant Park announced from his communication station. Massive energy signatures. They're trying to understand what we're doing. Captain Chen allowed herself a grim smile. For once, they're as confused as we are. Dr. Walsh, increase field strength. Let's see how their programmable matter handles quantum-level interference. Field at 30%, Walsh acknowledged. Starting to see molecular disruption effects. Wait. Her voice sharpened with alarm. Captain, the field is affecting our systems too. Hull integrity dropping in sections 3 through 7. Compensating, Patel cut in. Redirecting power to structural integrity fields. But Captain, we can't maintain this for long. The quantum drive wasn't designed to handle these kinds of power fluctuations. Before Chen could respond, Lieutenant Rodriguez called out from tactical. Movement. The aliens are repositioning. Their ships are changing configuration. On the main view screen, the alien vessel's liquid metal hulls were flowing like quicksilver, adopting new shapes. But something was wrong. The transformations weren't smooth anymore. Parts of their hulls seemed to stutter and freeze, caught between states. The resonance field is affecting their programmable matter technology, Walsh explained, excitement creeping into her voice. It's disrupting the quantum-level controls they use to reconfigure their hulls. But she frowned at her readings. They're adapting, already starting to compensate. Not fast enough, Chen decided. Tactical, target their command ship. Engineering, prepare for emergency power transfer. Dr. Walsh, on my mark, push the resonance field to maximum. Captain, Walsh protested. At maximum strength, the field could tear apart molecular bonds across the entire battle space, including ours. Trust in your own work, Doctor, Chen replied calmly. Your resonance device was designed to be precise, controllable. We just need to be more adaptable than they are. As if in response to her words, the alien fleet began to move again. Their ship's motions were jerky now, troubled by the resonance field, but still dangerous. Energy began building in their weapon systems. They're preparing to fire, Rodriguez reported. Multiple targeting locks, but their weapon signatures are erratic. The resonance field is affecting their systems. Chen keyed her ship-wide comm. All hands, brace for impact. What we're about to attempt goes against every safety protocol in the book. But sometimes humanity's greatest achievements come from ignoring the impossible. She took a deep breath. Dr. Walsh, initiate maximum field strength. Engineering, route all available power to the resonance device. Tactical, fire everything we have the moment their defenses show weakness. Aye, Captain, came the responses, each crew member's voice steady despite the enormous risks they were taking. The quantum resonance field pulsed outward with renewed strength. This time, the distortion in space was clearly visible, like cracks appearing in reality itself. The horizon's hull groaned under the strain but held. The effect on the alien ships was immediate and devastating. Their liquid metal hulls began to crystallize and fracture, the carefully controlled programmable matter breaking down under the quantum-level assault. Their perfect formation fell apart as individual vessels struggled to maintain basic functionality. Their molecular cohesion is failing, Walsh reported, her voice tight with concentration as she worked to maintain the precise field harmonics. The resonance effect is cascading through their systems. Multiple shield failures detected, Rodriguez added. Their weapons are offline. Wait. His voice changed. Captain, I'm detecting massive energy buildup in their command ship. They're trying something. The alien flagship's hull was rippling violently now, parts of it turning crystalline while others remained fluid. But at its core, something was happening. A desperate gambit of their own. They're attempting to generate a counter-resonance field, Walsh realized, studying her readings, using their own programmable matter technology. If they succeed, they won't, Chen stated firmly, because they're thinking like machines, looking for the mathematically perfect solution. But sometimes the best human solutions aren't perfect. Sometimes they just need to work once. Engineering. Divert all remaining power to the resonance device. Dr. Walsh, prepare to modulate the field frequency on my mark. Let's show them why humanity made it to the stars. The battle's outcome would hinge on what happened next, a contest between alien precision and human adaptability, between perfect calculation and intuitive leaps. And in that moment, as space itself seemed to twist around them, everything they had achieved would be put to the ultimate test. Time seemed to slow as two opposing quantum fields collided in space. The alien flagship's counter-resonance pulse met the horizon's field in a spectacular display of quantum physics gone wrong. Space itself appeared to shatter like glass, creating a web of reality-bending distortions between the opposing ships. Their counterfield is stabilizing, Dr. Walsh reported, her voice tense. They're learning to compensate for the resonance effects, attempting to match our frequency patterns. Chief Engineer Patel's voice cut through the chaos. Quantum drive is redlining. The power draw is beyond anything we tested. We got maybe 2 minutes before total system failure. Captain Chen watched as the alien fleet began to recover, their liquid metal hulls slowly regaining cohesion as they adapted to the resonance field. It was incredible how quickly they learned, how efficiently they could analyze and counter new threats. But that was also their limitation. They could only respond to what they understood. Dr. Walsh, Chen called out. You said the resonance device was never meant to be a weapon. What was its original purpose? It was designed to enhance quantum entanglement effects, Walsh replied, frantically working to maintain field stability, to create controlled quantum state transfers across. She suddenly stopped, eyes widening with realization. Captain, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Chen smiled grimly. Their ships are essentially one giant quantum computer, aren't they? All that programmable matter, constantly calculating and adapting. Yes, Walsh's fingers flew across her console, and quantum computers are extremely sensitive to entanglement interference. If we modify the resonance field to enhance natural quantum entanglement in the battle space, we don't try to destroy their ships, Chen finished. We entangle them with each other. Engineer Patel, prepare to route power through the quantum drive's entanglement manifolds. That's insane, Patel protested. The interaction between the drive and the resonance field could create a cascade of quantum entanglement effects. We'd be linking together the quantum states of everything in range. Exactly, Chen replied. They're too good at adapting to single threats, so let's give them millions of quantum states to adapt to simultaneously. Sometimes the best way to deal with a superior opponent is to change the rules of the game entirely. The alien flagship's counter-resonance pulse was growing stronger, pushing back against the horizon's field. Behind it, the rest of the fleet was beginning to reform their perfect attack formation, their hulls rippling with accumulated energy. They're preparing another coordinated strike. Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from Tactical. Our shields won't survive another barrage. They won't get the chance, Chen declared. Dr. Walsh, reconfigure the resonance field for maximum quantum entanglement enhancement. Engineering, route all remaining power through the quantum drive's manifolds. Everyone else, brace for, well, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. As the crew rushed to implement her orders, Chen opened a ship-wide channel. All hands, what we're about to attempt goes beyond experimental. It's probably theoretical, but that's what humanity does best. We take theories and turn them into reality through sheer determination and creativity. Hold on to something solid and trust in human ingenuity. The alien fleet's attack was seconds away when Walsh called out, "Field reconfiguration complete. Quantum entanglement enhancement at maximum. Engineering reports ready," Patil added. Though I want it noted that ready is a relative term here. Noted, Chen acknowledged. Initiate quantum entanglement pulse. Now. The universe seemed to fold in on itself as the modified resonance field erupted from the horizon. This time, instead of disrupting molecular bonds, it enhanced and multiplied quantum entanglement effects throughout the battle space. The alien ship's liquid metal hulls began to shimmer and shift, but not from their own controlled transformations. "It's working," Walsh exclaimed. "Their programmable matter matrices are becoming quantum entangled. Each ship's attempts to adapt are affecting all the others." The effect was devastating. As each alien vessel tried to compensate for the quantum interference, their adjustments cascaded through the entire fleet via the entanglement link. Their liquid metal hulls flowed and shifted chaotically, caught in an endless loop of conflicting adaptations. "Their fleet's coordination is breaking down," Rodriguez reported with growing excitement. "They can't maintain formation. Weapons are offline. Their entire command and control structure is collapsing." The alien flagship made one final attempt to regain control, its hull writhing as it tried to generate another counterpulse. But its own quantum-based systems had become hopelessly entangled with the rest of the fleet. Each attempted solution only created new problems, cascading through the entangled ships in an endless feedback loop. "They're retreating," Park announced from communications. "Multiple quantum wake signatures detected. They're engaging their FTL drives in a rather uncoordinated fashion." The bridge crew watched in amazement as the alien fleet fled, their once perfect formation now in shambles. Several ships were still struggling with partially crystallized hulls, while others seemed stuck in bizarre geometric configurations, their programmable matter locked in quantum confusion. As the last alien ship disappeared into FTL, Chen finally allowed herself to relax slightly. Damage report. Hull integrity holding at 67%, Patil reported. Quantum drive is offline but repairable. The resonance device actually protected us somewhat, created a kind of quantum isolation bubble around our systems. Perseus Station reports all boarders have withdrawn, Park added. Their research labs are secure. Dr. Walsh, I think your prototype just got some very unexpected field testing. Walsh laughed shakily. I'm going to have to rewrite all my papers. Quantum resonance technology, from theoretical physics to experimental warfare, in one very unauthorized test. Chen looked around at her crew, scientists, engineers, and soldiers who had just turned a half-tested prototype into an impossible victory through sheer human ingenuity and determination. "Send word to Fleet Command," she ordered. "The Horizon's first combat test is complete. And let them know that humanity's experimental technology just proved itself against an advanced alien threat. Not because it was perfect, but because we were willing to try the impossible." As the crew began damage control and system repairs, Chen knew this was just the beginning. The aliens would be back, probably with new countermeasures against quantum resonance fields. But humanity would be ready, with new innovations and experimental technologies of their own. Because that was what humans did best. They adapted, they innovated, and they turned crazy ideas into victory against all odds. The stars stretched out before them, full of unknown threats and challenges. But today had proved that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their boundless creativity and determination to succeed, no matter the odds.